On March 31st, 2006, Universal Pictures theatrically set free another oozing chapter in monster history. The 100-year-old film studio revived their sympathetic monster trademark with the feature film Slither. In 1912, Universal became the world's premier horror film studio thanks to its original creator, Carl Laemmle. Carl had founded Universal Pictures in New York City in 1906. 8 years later, in 1914, Laemmle moved Universal out to Los Angeles, and the location became Universal City. By the 1920s, the studio gave birth to such cinematic legends as The Phantom of the Opera and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The 1930s solidified their dominance in tales of the macabre by unleashing timeless classics such as Dracula, The Mummy, and Frankenstein, who would all live on in multiple incarnations throughout pop culture history.
Pictures up.
Oh, yeah.
Pictures up. All right. Let's have a bell, please.
Helming this slimy mix of morality tale and men-in-suit monster fable is first-time director James Gunn. As a screenwriter, James has been responsible for a number of huge box office successes. First, the live-action canine caper, Scooby-Doo Part 1 and 2, and the recent Dawn of the Dead.
My name's James Gunn. I am the director of Slither.
Slither merges traditional, slimy, gore-infused horror with strong characterizations and storylines. Taking his cues from classic creature features and retro 80s over-the-top horror movie imagery, Gunn wove his unique story into a dripping homage.
So on the one hand, there's those 80s films, but on the other hand, there's also the Universal horror films, the 30s and 40s, where the creature wasn't just an unthinking animal. He was a character like the creature from the Black Lagoon or Frankenstein, who you felt sorry for the monster as a character. There was some sort of emotion there on the part of the creature, the villain. And I think our movie has that. The creature that takes over, Grant, is like this eternal consciousness that's been around forever. He's been lonely for a long time, and he's only ever been animal forms as he travels from planet to planet, basically destroying them. And now he's a human being, and he gets to experience being a human being for the first time, but little by little he becomes something monstrous and horrible, and he doesn't want to change. He finds love in this woman he's married to, Starla Grant, and he wants to retain that and feel that love and experience that love, and he's completely unable to. Horror films are films that play on our fears about a lot of things. So it's not just being afraid of being eaten, it's being afraid of of people turning on us. Our loved ones, the people that we feel closest to and that we feel safe with, become something completely unsafe and something we can't trust. And that plays on a very deep and primal fear of not being able to trust other people.
Trust was not just a theme for the script, but also the Slither set. The core creators went to great lengths to staff the production with a talented cast and crew, but, equally important, an undying, dedicated ensemble.
You said for better or worse! You lied!
Louder, angrier part, again!
Yes! Let's do a rehearsal with camera. Here we go.
We were actually quite careful with who we picked to be part of this movie. And it was real important that people were talented in the right ways, but it was also important that they were troopers, basically. So we have the best cast of actors that I can ever imagine having. I like Rooker all the way back to Henry Portrait of Serial Killer. He's always playing a villain. I really want to put him in a movie as a good guy. And so I put him in Slither, and even though I guess he's not exactly playing the good guy, he is a character that I relate to quite a bit. And I do think that it gives Rooker a chance to do a lot of things that he doesn't normally get to do, because he normally is playing the bad guy that's out there being a tough guy and beating people up, and he keeps joking about it every day that finally he's for the first time he's playing probably the most horrible monster he's ever played, but it's also the most sensitive character he's ever played because he's crying all the time.
That's a little. Oh, that's okay. That's good. Time Masters, you're the awesome man.
I'm Elizabeth Banks. I play Starla Grant in Slither, and welcome to my house.
The hardest thing I thought we were going to have to cast was Starla. because, to be frank, there just aren't that many great actresses who are beautiful who can pull off this role. We needed someone who had some track record, who had been in films. So when Elizabeth came in and read, I knew instantly that she was Starlight, and I almost got down on my knees and started to praise her because I was so frightened about casting that role. I met Nathan Fillion for the first time. He came into audition, and I had seen Firefly. I liked his work in that, but that was all I had ever seen him in. And so could he do Bill Party? I didn't know, but I met the guy, and he had such a positive energy about him that I knew that this was a guy that I wanted to have on set with me every day. Yeah, you're gonna run in here, give him your little marmy Bill Party yap. I'm Bill Party.
If you want to know what it's like to work with James Gunn, I'll have to say that working with James Gunn is kind of like working with the mentally ill. You want to be gentle and empathetic, but at the same time, you don't want to upset him, because he's crazy. You don't want to have him handling sharp objects, and you don't want him behind the wheel of a car. These are things best left to professionals. Is he imaginative? Yes. Is he intelligent? Yes. But so are master criminals. And do you trust them?
My name is Greg Henry, and I play Jack McCready, who is the mayor of Wheelsy. Later today, I'm going to have like a full sort of impregnation makeup that happens when I get like the giant tubes of the monster zap me, and then I'll have this huge sort of thing growing off of my neck.
I'm Bernie Eichels. I'm the supervisor of the Brenda monster. There's things that puppeteers will manipulate. There's little mechanical hands here. Their fingers move. There's bladders up in this area that undulate and move, and the whole rig can tilt and move forward as she's kind of lunging toward the people who are coming to find her in this barn.
That's Brenda. And then what happens is she was impregnated by Grant, and she becomes filled up with his parasites, who are all part of his consciousness, basically, because he has this awful disease. And he puts her in a barn where she just wants to ravenously eat meat, whether it's human flesh or pets or meat from the store or whatever kind of meat it is. And she does, and she gets bigger and bigger, becomes that parasitic blob, and then she bursts open. 35,000 squirming parasites come out and infect all of our police officers.
We're inside Brenda here, and here's where Brenda Parker, our actress, will sit. She'll put her head through that hole, and then she just goes along for the ride, and everything else is worked by puppeteers. We have little hand mechanics here that move her fingers from the outside. As you can see, there's a series of tubes all around, and those will move bladders that pulse the skin around the outside. The entire structure is a big aluminum and steel lathe shell that, when it moves forward, will produce a jiggle that's hopefully reminiscent of a big load of fat, or a big jiggly ball, which is what this thing is.
Fango rocks. I grew up on Fango, and now look what I'm doing. I'm spreading blood everywhere. Blood. Meat.
I'm Joe Caldwell, makeup effects artist, prosthetic effects design, house monster builder guy on Slither.
Today will be the first really big day that we're going to be seeing the entire house monster together, and very excited seeing Mr. Rooker and with makeup and tied into it. And so yeah, we're going to be learning a lot of things today, and I'm sure we'll be confronting a lot of tensions today and friendships. But
I'm just worried. Today is hell.
looking good. Keep going, sir. Dan, want to call us one? Yeah. I think right there is everything. All right.
Very comfy.
Very comfy. You want a chair?
It's James Gunn! James! I have been really happy since I moved to Hollywood because I did the niftiest, neatest, coolest thing. I totally sold my soul to Satan.
His cinematic roots are in screenwriting, but he has also experimented in acting. His first experiences in the film business were with Trauma Entertainment. He worked as head of production at Troma, where he spent many shoots chewing up the scenery as a thespian in numerous dramatic productions. Perhaps his past experiences have proven valuable, influencing his interactive directing style.
We cut over here to the tentacle falling behind these curtains, basically falling right behind here. Disappearing. What did I say? The grenade. Falling behind those. Okay? Cut to you. Close up. Fuck. Run out of frame. Bang! Oh, I forgot. We had some shots of the propane going up, rushing up the tubules and into Grant where they're exploding here, and Grant looks very upset. And
I'm looking upset. I have gas coming through my body.
Yeah, before he yanks Phil Party back in.
I'm feeling a little gaseous.
Is that kind of clear?
Crystal!
Isabel, sir.
Crystal.
That was James Gunn and his performance art.
Yeah, I know. Because that's all we're going to be able to afford is me explaining it to the audience.
His dramatic flair serves him well. The cast and crew feel his passion for the film's vision, and this passion is completely contagious. Just as contagious as the deadly virus that ruins his fictitious town in Slither.
Really try to get it out of there. Tanya, struggle.
Grab onto him real tight now. Pull. Pull. Yeah, stretch him out. Pull him. Kill him. Get him out of there. Get him out.
Great, cut.
God, thank you.
Is that better?
It looks great.
I had never met James, but you know, as soon as we started working, first day on the set, I realized that he's going to be probably the most talented, amazing director I'd ever worked with. How was that? That was a good one, right?
I thought it was one of the funniest scripts I'd read in a really long time. I think James Gunn is just an amazing talent. I knew I had done well with James when I met him, when I told him I thought it was really funny, and he said no one got that it was funny. I'm like, I thought it was hilarious. And it just seemed like it was going to be so original and just so much fun to work on, and it has tons of action, and I wanted to do something with a lot of action.
That was a question, right?
That was the question.
Of course. Wonderful director. Best director I've ever worked with. I'd work with him again. Yeah. Will this be on the air? Yes, absolutely. James, I'd work with you anytime. Jesus Christ.
Slither, to me, is really at the base of it all. It's a story about a dissolution of a marriage, and that's all this stuff represents. It's a woman who married for reasons other than real love to a guy that she probably shouldn't have married, and they're unhappy, and they start to bring other people into their fold of unhappiness who are, you know, then sucked into this thing, and then the whole town becomes a part of it, and it's really just about marriage and what can go wrong in a marriage. And the way that this is exemplified in our film is by this guy becoming this monster that takes over everything, and it's a disease that spreads, and that's what they're involved in. So to me, it really is that.